the explicate order being that world of form and phenomenon. Scientists, physicists call it the unified field. Our subjective experience of it is that when we know it, when we experience it, we feel pure joy, pure knowledge, pure silence, perfect balance. We feel we are invincible. There is simplicity in it. There is bliss in it. And when this becomes our internal reference point, when we carry the consciousness of this wherever we go, then we are no longer object referral. Object referral means the ego is no longer our internal reference point. We're not so easily influenced by others. We're not so easily affected by criticism. We're not so fearful of challenges because we know that our source is the source of everything in creation. In order to get in touch with this field of pure potentiality, we have to spend time with it, which means we have to spend time with ourselves. You wouldn't spend time, an entire lifetime with a stranger, and yet people spend an entire lifetime with strangers, and that stranger is their inner self. That stranger is their inner self. When we get to this inner self, and I put this other diagram here to show you that this inner self is the source of everything. It is where there is the generation of creative process in the stillness of the mind. It is the organization and the dynamism of the stillness of the spirit, which we call the mind. And it is the delivery and doing in the world of form and phenomenon, which is done through the body. So when we want to know ourselves as the totality of everything, then we have to know it as that mind which creates everything in existence. It's the source of creation. It's pure consciousness, our essential nature. If we align with that power, we align with the power that creates everything in the universe. And in order to do that, we have to begin to get there. And the way we get there, the way we apply the law of pure potentiality, is through the experience of silence. And so I would like to summarize today the first law for you, which is that I am pure spirit. And the way I get in touch with that pure spirit is I take time each day to commune with nature and silently witness the intelligence within every little thing. I take time every day for silence and meditation. I take time to not judge, because as I cease from judgment, I create silence in my internal dialogue. And when I create silence in my internal dialogue, I get in touch with the field of pure potentiality. So at this point, in fact, I'd like to read to you a poem that I found from Tagore, which says a little bit about what happens to us when we experience nature, and through nature we experience the pure spirit. He says, "On the day when the lotus bloomed, alas, my mind was straying, and I knew it not. My basket was empty, and the flower remained unheeded. Only now and again a sadness fell upon me, and I started up from my dream and felt a sweet trace of a strange fragrance in the south wind. That vague sweetness made my heart ache with longing, and it seemed to me that it was the eager breath of the summer seeking for its completion. I knew not then that it was so near that it was mine, and that this perfect sweetness had blossomed in my own heart." So that is what happens. That is what happens when we experience pure potentiality. I'd like us all then to understand that as we take steps towards success, the first thing we have to do is get in touch with the source of all creation, to realize that deep within us is this field which is the source of everything. At this level, we are at this level of the unmanifest. We are the observer, the process of observation, and the observed. We are the soul, the spirit, the mind, the body, and the world. That's why the seers say, "I'm not in the world is in me. I'm not in the body is in me. I'm not in the mind is in me. The body, mind, and world, they happen to me, as I curve back within myself and create again and again. And as I do that, I can create anything I want. I'll summarize the law of pure potentiality then by once again reiterating the 3 ways we can get in touch with it. Number 1, through the practice of meditation and silence. Number 2, through communing with nature, because the same spirit animates everything. It's the same unified force that is there in everything that's alive. And 3, by practicing non-judgment. By desisting from trying to label and define everything as right or wrong, good or bad, because in the ultimate scheme, as you can see, good and bad are what make life an experience of meaningful contrast. There is the poles of opposite that create life, whether it's good or bad, light or darkness, up and down, hot or cold, pain or pleasure. Life moves within these poles of opposites. And when we accept that, we spontaneously become less judgmental. We spontaneously do not have the desire to judge others. And when we don't have that desire to judge others, then that creates silence in our mind. There's a beautiful prayer that I came across somewhere. It says, "Today I shall judge nothing that occurs. And as I judge nothing that occurs, I will create silence in my mind. And as I create silence in my mind, I will communicate and commune and have that meeting with the cosmic mind that is running and orchestrating the machinery of the universe." The cosmic mind whispers to us in the silent spaces between our thoughts. And people have called this intuition or revelation or insight or inspiration or creativity. There are different words of saying the same thing. That we are getting in touch with the cosmic computer that is orchestrating the infinite diversity of the universe. Once we recognize that, once we have an experiential knowledge of that, then we feel that there is nothing in this universe that is not accessible to us. Whatever the mind of humans can conceive and imagine, it can create. Because you are going to that source which creates everything. So this then is the first law. And as we go through this program, I'd like to take you through all the 7 laws, which are the principles of nature, which are the principles through which nature manifests into the infinite diversity of life. And as we do that, we will see how this helps us to realize all the goals that we have. Material, emotional, spiritual, all those goals. Thank you.